Ask Steph show. On today's episode, I'm going to answer the question, what can I do when I hit a plateau? So, meaning what can I do when I hit a fat loss or a weight loss plateau, and I've just kind of made progress and then it's stalled for a while. Well, there's a lot of things you can do when you hit a plateau. The most important thing is knowing that your body is unique. Not one answer is going to help everyone. Everyone has different ways that they respond to different forms of exercise, different diets. So I'm going to give you a bunch of different options today, and then it's your job to try out one for a few weeks, see if it does anything. If not, move on to the next one. There's a lot of different ideas, so try some out and see what works for you. The first tip I have for breaking a fat loss plateau is to take a look at your nutrition. Really examine your nutrition and be honest with yourself. Is what you're doing really the best option for you? And is it going to get you the best results possible? Oftentimes when we bring on new coaching clients, they think that they have a great nutrition program going for them. But to be honest, it's really not the best, and it actually may be the reason that they have hit a plateau and they aren't getting the results they want. One example is, let's say someone has decided to cut out carbs completely. Well, they are starting to drag. They have no energy and they're having trouble getting through their workouts. So now not only do they not feel good, they're having ineffective workouts, and that could be contributing to the plateau that they've hit. So it's important to know that going on a no carb diet, like a ketogenic diet, is not the best option for everyone. So maybe it's time for us to start introducing carbs back into your diet, and that right there might help you break your plateau. Another key point about nutrition is that you need to be in a caloric deficit if you're going to see fat or weight loss results. What I mean by that is we all have a number of calories that we can maintain weight at. For me, if I eat around 1,800 calories a day, I'm able to just maintain weight with my normal routine, my normal workouts. If I were to cut down to anywhere below 1,800, let's say 1,700, I'm for sure going to start seeing fat and weight loss results. Whereas if I were to go up, let's say to 1,900, I'm for sure going to probably start putting on some fat and or muscle. So you want to make sure that you know how many calories and macros you are able to maintain weight at, and then you've got to dip below that into what we call a caloric deficit if you want to see those fat loss results. In order to figure out what amount of calories you maintain weight at, that's something you want to start tracking over the next few days. Track every single thing you eat into an app like My Macros Plus or MyFitnessPal. Track it all, and then sit down every night and see exactly, okay, how many macros, protein, carbs, and fat, how many total calories do I tend to consume, and do it for like a week. And then at the end of the week, say, here's what my average was. I ended up maintaining weight this week, so now I know that the average amount of calories or macros I can consume and maintain weight is blank, and then you just gotta dip below that just a little bit to make sure you're in a deficit. And that right there, just taking the time to analyze your nutrition and then figure out what your deficit is, can make a huge difference and break that plateau if needed. Another common error with nutrition is just not knowing exactly how much food you're eating at every meal. A lot of people just eyeball it or just assume, oh, this is one serving, here's another serving. But to be honest, oftentimes what you think is a serving is actually maybe even 1.5 or 2 servings. So you've really got to invest in a good food scale. You can get one on Amazon easily, same day or tomorrow, and then start weighing out your food so you know exactly what you're eating. Because my hunch is that you're probably eating more than you think you are, and therefore your calories are higher than you think you are, and that might be a reason that you've stalled as well in your progress. One last thing about nutrition to consider is, do you enjoy the diet or nutrition program that you're on? Oftentimes when we get new coaching online clients, they hate what they're doing. They're miserable. Their past coach has given them a meal plan they have to follow to a T. 4 ounces of chicken, 100 grams of asparagus, half cup of rice, 4 times a day. How boring is that? It's miserable, it's boring, it's not something you can stick to and sustain that diet for a long period of time. So what ends up happening is when you have this miserable diet, you don't want to follow it, and then you end up having issues where, oh, you say I'm going to have a cheat day here and a cheat day here. Well, one cheat day turns into 5,000 extra calories, and boom, way off again, no longer on track to reaching your goal. So make sure that you enjoy the diet you're on. The diet that we promote, we follow, and we give to all of our coaching clients, even bikini competitors, is called flexible dieting. We have a free course, a free 4-week online course that you can take. It is at www.learnflexibledieting.com, and there you can learn everything about flexible dieting and how amazing it is. It's a form of a diet where you track your macros daily, but it doesn't restrict you to eat certain foods. You get to choose what foods you're eating, as long as those foods' macros reach the number of macros you should be hitting each day. So it's a lot more enjoyable. This is a diet that we've both been on for the last few years with no issues at all. It's not hard to follow as long as you take the time to learn what it is, learn how to track macros, learn how to calculate how many macros you should be having, then you're golden. So to recap, number 1 way to break a fat loss or weight loss plateau, really examine your nutrition and know exactly what you're consuming. Number 2 way to break a plateau is just to drink more water. Plain and simple. Are you drinking enough water? You've got to take in enough water to wash out toxins, nourish your body. It's going to help with your GI system as well. You've just got to consume enough. Plain and simple. So if you have trouble with that, maybe go get a gallon and make sure you're drinking that whole gallon each day. That's what most people. The 3rd way to break a fat loss plateau is to maybe change up your training program. For our online clients, we give them brand new training programs every month. It's very important to always be changing up your routine because your body starts getting used to a training program and then you'll no longer see results, you'll plateau. So you always want to be changing it up a little bit here and there. Things that you can change up, well, you can change up your style of lifting, whether you're just lifting normal sets, supersets, giant sets, interval training, DUP, which is daily undulating periodization. You can also change up maybe your rest periods, how long you're resting in between. You can change up the equipment you're using, so instead of always doing your lat pull down with the bar, maybe you're going to use it with the rope, maybe with handles, maybe a band instead. So always just try and think of ways that you can make your training a little bit more exciting and try and change it every month or so. If you need ideas on new exercises, definitely go to my YouTube channel. I have over 300 videos at the moment of free just exercises you can see, and you can see exactly how to do them. So there's lots of different options. Check that out. We also have our online coaching, and on that we offer 3 different tiers of coaching at the moment. And one of those is just to get the training only sent to you each month on our app. So there's plenty of ways to change up your training routine. If you think that maybe you've stalled because you're doing the same workouts every week over and over, it's time to change it up. So maybe try that, see if it helps. The 4th way to break a plateau is to change up your cardio. So I talked about how you can change up your training. Now cardio can be changed as well. Let's say you're used to always doing the bike for 10 minutes after, or the stair mill for 20 minutes after, or running a mile. Change it up. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm a big promoter of HIIT, which is high intensity interval training. What that means is that you're doing intervals of high intensity cardio and then low intensity cardio over and over. They're so intense that you're using 100% exertion. When you are done with just a few sets of those cardio intervals, you are dead. You can barely talk, you can barely breathe, you want to pass out. That's how intense this cardio is. But the great thing is it only takes 5 to 10 minutes, you're done. Very short but very effective. It's actually 6 to 8 times more effective at burning fat than just normal steady state cardio, meaning you're just going to go jog at the same speed for 10 minutes. So consider switching up your cardio. For HIIT, I recommend adding in 1 to maybe 3 or 4 sessions per week. And like I said, they're under 10 minutes, so they're very quick and easy to add in at the end of your workout before you go and stretch and go home. My 5th tip to breaking a fat loss plateau is to spend more time strength training. If you actually spend more time strength training versus spending all your time on cardio, you're going to notice a difference. you're going to start putting on muscle and building more lean muscle mass versus holding on to all this body fat. So if you aren't strength training yet, try adding in 3, 4, maybe even 5 days of strength training per week at the gym. It shouldn't take you too long, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, but adding in a strength training program is going to be very beneficial. And it's not only going to help you prevent injuries in the future, it's going to help you put on muscle and just feel overall stronger. The 6th way to break a fat loss plateau is to relax, breathe, meditate, pray. Whatever way you are able to relax the best, try it. Sometimes when we stress so much over that number on the scale, or we stress so much about dropping to a certain size in jeans, the stress just kind of takes over, and that can get in the way of your progress. So take a moment each morning when you wake up. Just get up a few minutes earlier, spend some time meditating or just relaxing in peace, and see if that helps you. It actually might, because sometimes for me personally, when I'm stressed so much about hitting a certain body fat for a photo shoot or something, oftentimes that gets in the way and I actually take longer to hit that. Sometimes if I just relax and let my body handle things on its own, the results are even better. All right, we're almost done. The seventh way to break a fat loss plateau is to maybe re-examine the goals that you have set. Sometimes if you've set maybe an unrealistic goal or a goal that's more based just on the scale weights and you're not hitting it, well, it's not your fault. Maybe you're doing everything you can, but you have the wrong goal set. So I've written an article in the past and talked about it a lot of times, but don't always just focus all your goals on that number on the scale. We have a lot of clients that oftentimes didn't do much strength training. So when they start with us, their scale weight is actually staying the same for several weeks. And it's not that they're doing something wrong. They are actually putting on muscle and losing body fat, but they're staying the same just because they're putting on so much muscle from this new form of strength training that they're trying with us. So if your goal is just all about that scale weight, change it up. Try a different goal. Go by inches, go by how clothes fit, go by progress pictures. Base your progress on those sort of things instead of just the scale weight. And you might actually notice that you are progressing and you haven't hit a plateau like you thought you had when you were just focusing your results on just the scale weight. The 8th goal is once again to think beyond the scale. So I already kind of covered that. So next time you think you've hit a fat loss plateau, try out one of those 8 options I just went over, and I truly hope that they help you kind of break that plateau and continue to see progress. Oftentimes it's just all about changing up your nutrition or training program. So I hope that helps. If you need any help with nutrition or training, please visit beautifultothecore.com/coaching, and we're more than happy to take a look at your program and offer you some advice.